Okay, welcome to Hope City. This is kind of a unique game in that you don't compete against the other players. You are working together to achieve a common goal. And that goal is to place 3 city sites. You can place them anywhere in the city, any of the sectors, society, environment, economics, technology, politics. It doesn't matter, just as long as by the end of the game you have out 3 city sites. Now, the game lasts 7 rounds, or basically everyone takes their turn. That's 1 round. You go around 7 times, and we call them years, 7 years of chaos. So by the end of 7 years, you will have placed 3 city sites, hopefully. Now, if you fail your objective there, if you fail it, you're going to put out urban blights. Urban blights on the board are bad. Okay? So, 3 to win. Now, as you can see, there are tokens on the board, 1 for each player, and then there are these little guys, they're punks. Punks basically attack your face. All right, they're pretty aggressive. That's what brings the tension and the excitement to the game a little bit. So each player chooses a character. As you can see, there are 6 characters, so it's a 3 to 6 player game. If you're only 3 people, you can recruit the other characters. Likewise with 4 and 5, and then 6 is all in. So you have the mayor, the entrepreneur, the coach, the ranger, the doctor, and the engineer. So the mayor, like all the other characters, every character has 2 specific actions that they can take. Talent or a temptation action. Now the talent actions are pretty cool, but the temptation actions are really powerful. They're game changers, but they also come with a price. So you press your luck a little bit on that one. Each character also has 2 talent to start the game, so they can use them on their turn, but only 2. And then they also can take corruption when they try and use their temptation, or when the punks attack and for other reasons. And if they take too much corruption, then they break bad. So the mayor can become the mobster. She cannot use her talent when she's the mobster. She still cooperates with other players. She's still a citizen, but she is kind of helping but harming at the same time. She has a flaw, like all the characters have a specific flaw to them. And I'll get into the mobsters in a minute here. On the bottom, you'll see basically the tokens that are on the board here. They are the different resources. They also are on the objective cards. They are specific to each sector of society. So you want to match them up, and when you match them up, good things happen. But here on the bottom of the card explains the focus for each resource, each objective. So each character starts out with 2 talent and 1 resource pulled randomly from the citizen wage bag. Okay? Now before I get into turn order, I want to kind of explain the board real quick. So on this board, as you see, you have resources. This is the trade center where you can, once you have pulled from the citizen wage bag, you can trade for something that you want. All right? This is the business expansion. What's unique about this co-op is that you get to work together, but not really, at least not in the beginning. You have to upgrade to level 1 and level 2 to really take advantage of cooperation. So you start off only with your resources. If you go to level 1, then if you share the same city space with 1 other player, then you can both put your resources together to do good things. And then if you have 2 players, you can, and you're upgraded to level 2, then you can cooperate with 2 other people. Pretty simple. And so that's business expansion. And then there's the future track. The future track is where you're going to be putting these cards. There's only so many spaces that you can put them. I'll get to that in a minute. And if bad things happen if you try and put cards but you're blocked. So I'll explain that in a minute. And then there's the year tracker of 1 through 7. And then there's chaos cards and hope cards. I'll explain that when we do round order. So that's the board, pretty much. These are objective cards. The tokens match up with the objective cards. The tokens, the resources are used to pay for an objective. So for example, this objective costs 2 resources of these kinds, you know, one environment and one economics resource. And so if you can pay for it and you can meet the conditions, then you succeed. And then it would go into the success pile. This is an environment card. It would go with the ranger into his success pile. I didn't show this earlier, but each character has a success and a fail pile that are thematically based. So the mayor would have justice and oppression. If, as a team, you're able to successfully complete one objective of each category, then you have a set, and you cash that set in for a city site. Likewise, if you fail one of each kind, then you cash those in for an urban blight. Now, there's other ways to earn city sites, and you know, hopefully you won't get the urban blight, but is by doing a major objective. Major objectives cost 1 resource of each kind. That's, you know, costly. It's a lot. That's why you need to cooperate, but the conditions are pretty tough too. However, automatic put out a city site, which is great. And it's also face up, so you know how to plan for it and prepare and just make it happen. These are all face down. You don't know what you're going to get. You flip it over. You don't know if you can pay for it, and you don't know if you can fulfill the conditions. So, you know, that's why we have the future. You can put it into the future track for a later time when you're ready. Okay, so round order. The way the round begins is year 1, let's say, you put out a chaos card. And basically, this is a threat. It looms over the city all year long. And it basically says, hey, this must happen by the end of the year. If not, chaos breaks out and these bad things will happen. So it's important to keep this in mind as you're going around trying to fulfill objectives and, you know, do city sites, because if you screw up this part, bad things are going to happen. All right. So you put that out. Then the mayor starts her turn, and you go clockwise. After the last player's turn, you see if you fulfilled the conditions here. If you have, you're safe. The next thing you have to do is you have to count the punks on the board. Right now there's 1, 2, 3. In that case, you would take 3 corruption, and you would put them into the citizen wage bag. I think you understand where this is going. The more punks in the city, the more corruption is going to go in the bag. The better chance you have of pulling corruption instead of a resource, making it harder to, you know, fulfill an objective, and therefore almost impossible to put out a city site. So, long story short, too late. Make sure that the punks are not in the city. Get them out of there so that corruption cannot infect the citizen wage bag. Okay, so that's the round order. It's cleanup and everything like that. To counter the power of chaos, we have hope. The way to get a hope card, these are really powerful. The way to get these is basically for a character such as the mayor to fulfill an objective of her kind, which would be politics. If she fulfills that, she succeeds, then she would get a hope card. That would be the end of her turn. And they counter chaos. Okay. Turn order. Each character starts with 1 resource already, drawn randomly from the citizen wage bag. The mayor, first thing she'll do, always, is take a resource from the citizen wage bag. Unfortunately, she pulled a corruption. That would go on her card. If she gets 1 more, she'll break bad. So she would not get a resource this turn. She would only have 1 to work with, which is very difficult. Only about 20% of the cards require just 1 resource only. Okay, so let's say she didn't pull a corruption. Instead, she pulled a politics resource. Fantastic. Now she has 2 resources. She can, after citizens take their citizen wage, they can either do their talent or their temptation action anytime afterwards. But the second thing she can do is go to the trade center with one of these. Let's say she doesn't like her option. She doesn't want to go to politics space. She doesn't want to go to economic space. She can turn this one in and grab one other. She'll grab the society. So it's only one trade in. You can't trade both tokens in or more than one. So she has those two. Again, she can use her talent or temptation right now if she wants. But after trade in, she would move. She doesn't have to move. She can go to any of these city spaces, but she can also stay where she's at. She's going to do that because she's going to go for a hope card. So the first thing that's going to happen once she, is in this phase is she's going to have to face a punk attack. If there's a punk, you have to roll a die. It's a 2. Bad news. On a 1 and a 2, the punk hits. She would take a corruption. If she rolled a 3 or a 4, nothing happens. And on 5 and 6, the citizens actually get to fight back. So had she rolled a 5 or a 6, she could pay one of her resources. Let's say she paid this one right in the citizen wage bag, and that would kick the punk out of the city. Boom. 5 or 6, out. Beautiful. Now, she has to take an objective of the color space she's in, politics, and right away you see that she cannot pay for this. It costs 2 resources. She only has 1. Immediately, this is going to have to go into the future track. There's only 1 space left. It's getting kind of crowded. Let's look and see if she can use her talent or temptation. Talent, she doesn't want to use her specific talent. Temptation, bribe, that looks good. Open the future track by 1. So she can do this, but she must roll the corruption die. Let's see what happens. Okay, she got away with it, like a lot of mayors do. So she, the star, the citizen with a star, nothing happens. Most of the time, though, you're going to take at least 1 corruption, and then one out of 6, you're going to take 2 corruption. Had she rolled that, she would have gotten 2 corruption. The mayor breaks bad on 2. The rest take 3. So this is the pressure luck part that I really enjoy about the game, because she got away with it, and it just kind of gives a sense of, real life to the game. Future track opened. Everyone's feeling good. Her temptation action is over. So she didn't use her talent specific to her character, but she can still use her talent in a different way. She can invest it into the Phoenix Monument. Now, the Phoenix Monument is a game changer. Usually, all hell's going to break loose, and it's going to look like the citizens are losing. But you can get this Phoenix Monument, place it in the environment, in the park, and the citizens rally. They hope again. They believe that they can turn the tide, and this is how it works. So citizens invest their talent. You have to take 5 talent to be able to pay for the monument. Once the 5th talent is placed, that citizen will take the monument, put it on their card. They will get an automatic hope token, which is it's a wild resource, can be used as any other kind. And they can then decide when they want to put this monument on the board. If they put it on the board in year 1 through 4, 2 good things happen. In year 5, 3 good things happen. Year 6, even better, and 7, tremendous things happen. It's kind of a balance, though. When is the wisest time? Because you kind of need those 2 good things to happen immediately. So that's a tough decision to make, but this can be a game changer. So again, it takes 5 talent to be able to afford the Phoenix Monument. The mayor's turn she did not succeed here, therefore she was not able to get a hope card. Maybe some other citizen can come along and try and achieve this. Then it would be the entrepreneur's turn, the coach's turn, the ranger's turn, the engineer, and finally the doctor. Now the game is over after year 7. If 3 city sites have been placed, you win. If not, you lose. There's other win conditions, other lose conditions as well in the rule book. If you have any questions, you can hit us up on Facebook. But that's pretty much how the game works. Enjoy. Okay, a couple of frequently asked questions is that if your future track is full and you get a card that you cannot pay for or you cannot fulfill the conditions, what happens to this card? Well, you can't put it in the future track because it's blocked. So you have to roll a die. A 4. If it had been a 1, this card would fail, and the failure consequences would go into effect. But since it's a 4, this one's going to fail, and immediately it's going to go into the fail pile, and these consequences are going to happen. If all punks are off the board at the end of the year, great news. You don't have to put any corruption in the citizen wage bag. However, at the beginning of the rounds, 2 punks come out. Every year, 2 punks are going to come out. You can put them wherever you want. All right. Now, if there was already 2 punks on the board, then no more come out. The goal, I mean, the bottom line is there has to at least be 2 punks in the city at the beginning of each round, at the beginning of each year. All right. So just make that happen. City sites and urban blights do have an effect as well. So once you put out a city site, if there is a punk in the city, they are kicked out. Just one, and one only. If you put out an urban blight, 1 punk emerges as well. It doesn't matter where you put them. It's your choice. So those are the 3 frequently asked questions. The 4th is, okay, so another question is, what happens when you break bad? So if you're the mayor and you become the mobster, you can no longer use your talent until you become good again. And any corruption that you get here forward, you have to give away to another character. You also have a flaw, which happens every time it's your turn, and it's specific to each character. The mobster, she cannot put cards in the future track. Okay, so even if there's open spaces, she cannot put one there. It's automatically failing. All right, and the only way for her to become good again is for a citizen, including herself, any citizen to complete an objective of her color, which would be a politics card. If they can complete that, then she will become good again. All right, so she's still a citizen. She's still cooperating with everyone else. It's just that she's kind of helping and harming at the same time.